Hello everyone, welcome back to the Enthusia playthrough. Today we're going to be continuing trying to get the this Skyline Coupe 350 GT Premium, the V35 chassis, which in the States you'd be familiar with it as the Infiniti G35. Uses the same VQ engine, most of the same chassis as the Nissan 350Z. We're going to be trying to get this to level 10, and then we're going to be going on to a sporty car. And this is going to be a lot of fun, getting this all sorted. So yeah. Anyway, we've got our car. It's already got a little bit of it's already been leveled up just a little bit, which is good. But yeah, it is. We are going to be starting to get into some races with this with the 350 GT Skyline. All right, so got a decent selection here. We're not going to be doing the snow event because snow in a rear-wheel drive car without any form of traction control is hell. I'm not even going to mince my words there. Snow driving with that is truly hell. We are instead probably we're gonna do something. We're gonna do a lap around the Nordschleife with the Nürburgring. Oh, and we have a decent selection. We're gonna be up against some MR2. Gotta watch out for that snap oversteer, Dodge Viper, and the NSX Type. So it is gonna be a little bit tricky, especially as we're going right from the start. But we've got this. We have got this. Alright, we're starting up in second because our vehicle is considered one of the slower vehicles. We are using clutch as well with this car because it does have a full-on manual transmission. Oh boy, very squirrely through the first corner. Couple wide. Alright, let's get these places back. Let's try to outmaneuver the Audi A8 just in front of us. Because that is it's got the four-wheel drive, but it's also very heavy, so we can probably beat it under braking. Get the car nice and turned in. A little bit of oversteer. This car is a little bit on the tail-happy side. But we, with careful throttle control, we can control that most of the time. Most of the time we can control that. Alright, easy on the brakes. Just gotta be just a little bit gentle with this car. Alright, we can definitely push for a good solid second place finish. That NSX is very fast. It's that NSX is a Type R version, which has been lightened even further by Honda, with a lot of creature comforts removed. And it was basically sort of the ultimate NSX. Alright, nice and easy. Make sure I don't get it crossed up on the brakes. Kind of slowly accelerate out of the corner. Slowly apply just a little bit more throttle. We're not going quite quick though. We are definitely outperforming our vehicle by a decent margin, especially considering the fact that one of the cars we're racing against is a V10, very powerful Dodge Viper GTS. Okay. Little squirrely there. Muscle memory, I hit the downshift button instead of the brakes. It's one of the downsides of using multiple different controller configurations for your different games, depending on how much throttle control you need. I do need quite a bit of throttle and braking control here, so I'm using a DualShock 3, and I'm using the triggers, the R2 and L2, for the gas and the brakes when I'm emulating this. And yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but we got this. Come on. I say that. Come on, get it turned in. Alright, we have a lot of positions to make back up now. At least 3. So let's do that. We lost time. We lost a lot of time. Let's get that time back. Probably not the best track to start after a fairly long hiatus from this game. But that is okay. We just have to push a little bit harder. Kind of adapt and overcome. We got this though. I see the GT-R Tamara just up ahead. We're in a much lighter car compared to the Mercedes S-Class that we were previously driving in battle against against the Tamara. So we do have a decent shot at overtaking it. And the Viper, I think it's the Viper, should be just up ahead. And that Tamara is very, very quick on the straight, so we're gonna have to kind of outmaneuver it. That's gonna be tricky. All right, little tippy tap the brake there. Don't know why I tried to pass on the outside. Come on. Nice and easy. Get around there. Nice, very, very good. Alright, we are gaining on second place as well. Which is good. Okay, very, very... Very, very too happy car. We need to gain even more time back now. Alright, let's gain some time back with the GT-R Tamara. If we can avoid making mistakes, we're actually quite quick in the Infiniti G35. The big thing is just that it is very tail happy. I'm gonna have to adjust that a little bit. Because it is very, very slidey. Okay. Back in the third. Through these S-curves. Very, very tricky, very tricky. Let's try to gain back on a second now. There we go. We're kind of back into a flow of this car. Yeah, that NSX is very, very, very quick. Good evening, Sprockets. Good to see ya. Yeah, well, right now we're driving the well, it's the Nissan Skyline 350 GT around the Nordschleife. But in the States, it's more better known as the Infiniti G35. It's got the same type of VQ series engine, V6, as the Nissan 350Z. And it's actually even built on the same chassis, or similar chassis. They share a lot of the same components as the 350Z as well, which is cool. It's sort of the I don't want to say the poor man's Z, because it is still a fairly pricey car, but it's definitely an alternative to the Z, I think, and it is quite nice. It is a little bit on the oversteery side right now. I'm gonna have to adjust a few settings once I get back to the garage after this race. But I mean, a third place for a first race with a fairly difficult AI on a fairly difficult course. Get it slowed down there on a fairly difficult course is nice. Hopefully everything sounds good. Nothing's too soft or too loud or anything like that. I think most things are good. A second. All right, nice. Alright. So we didn't have the best race there. Had a few hiccups. Let's see what at least we can get a good car. Maybe we can get that Viper. We did get the Viper. Very nice. Oh yeah, that's very high performance, high powered front engine rear wheel drive V10 monster right there. We didn't get any points to upgrade our car because we drove pretty poorly there. We would definitely need to work just a little bit harder next race. Because I made quite a few mistakes. Let's do a little bit of setting adjustment here. Let's actually get it a little bit towards understeer. Alright. Adjust that back just a tad. Let's unlock the rear differential just a little bit more. And we should be good now. We should definitely be good now. Alright. Let's see what races are available to us. Oh, we have the Gold Rush Anniversary. That's an RS event. That's where you get a lot of points. But it's also fairly tricky. You are usually up against some pretty tough opponents, like the Roof Turbo R, basically a 911 Turbo, but that's been modified and upgraded even further. That one's gonna be fairly tricky to race against. But these other two should be fairly easy. The S2000 and the Garaya. Those two should be fairly easy. They'll be a little bit more maneuverable with us, but we should have the power for the uphill section on this San Franciscan street course. Two, one. Alright, good launch out of the gate. And the Turbo R is gone. That was so fast. I look over just to the right and I see this purple blur go by. Yeah, that is, we're gonna be pushing for second here. We're gonna be trying to get a good, solid second place finish. Occasionally the game decides to drop all pretenses of a fair fight, and decides, you know what, let's put some of like the fastest cars in, the fastest road-going cars in the game against you, and there isn't a whole lot you can do against that. You are basically at the mercy of RN Jesus. That's fine. We will still fight for a solid second place finish. Silver is also a very good color for a trophy in our trophy cabinet. If I can keep my car going mostly straight, you can see why the G35 was used so much in drifting events. Very, very tail happy, very, very prevalent, prone to sort of oversteer, despite its front engine rear-wheel drive nature. It definitely handles a lot more like a midship engine car. And that Garaya is very nimble. Has about an 80 less horsepower than us, but it's also very, very lightweight. It is very. It's an interesting car because it was made by a company known as Car. All right, we got five laps to get these positions back. Let's go. But the ASL Garaya. It was made by a company called Autobax Sports Car Laboratories, or ASL. And Autobax is basically an auto accessory and maintenance store in Japan. Sort of think Japanese AutoZone, for lack of better words. But they created their very own sports car, super limited production sports car, powered by a Nissan engine, I think. Little inline four-cylinder from Nissan, making about 200 horsepower, 205 horsepower. But it's also very, very lightweight, very nimble, very agile car. And then they created a racing version of it to race in the Japanese Super GT, which is basically their national level Grand Touring Car Championship. And it did reasonably well, actually, surprisingly. It did pretty good. It was in the GT300 class, which is the lower level division. You have a GT300 and GT500. And the names are basically carryovers from when the maximum power for each of those classes was 300 horsepower and 500 horsepower. But that is now no longer the case. Now it's GT300 is basically GT3 class cars, and then a couple of other like spec chassis and other stuff that's been all balanced and performance so they can be competitive with each other. Whereas GT500 is much closer to sort of your class one touring cars, which 700 horsepower, inline four-cylinder engines, super high boost, very high downforce cars. That corner there gets this car all crossed up. And it's very difficult to catch the streams in the States, and to catch an English broadcast. But it is really cool. Alright, we got a good run on the S2000. Let's see if we can't pass on the inside of this next sweeper corner. Go around the inside now. Nice and easy on the brakes. Little tippy tap, get the weight transferred to the front wheels. Trying to push me wide here. We got more power than the Mini Cooper S on the uphill section. Can definitely gain some time here. Alright, we're making ground on the Mini Cooper. Surprisingly nimble car. It's definitely doing, that one's definitely punching above its weight class. With a very impressive third place. Soon to be fourth, though, as we can't quite make that pass stick. We're gonna try, though. Yeah, it's definitely good to see you in chat, Sprockets. Hopefully you're doing well today. I know it's kind of past sort of the midweek now. We're kind of heading towards the weekend. You know, kind of. I'm not sure what your work schedule is. I know you said you're a machinist and stuff. But I'm not sure what your work schedule entails. But hopefully you're heading towards, you know, a decent break for either the weekend or something like that. Ooh, the S2000 is still battling with us. We gotta catch back up to the Mini Cooper. It's my last day of the week. Oh, cool, nice. So you get the Friday, Saturday, Sunday off and everything, or something like that, I'd imagine. Maybe it's like the RDO schedule where it's every other Friday off or something. I know a place I used to work at, and a place I do work at as well used to do that as well. Now we're at a 4-10 schedule, so. Yeah, a lot of different work schedules and stuff. Definitely makes things interesting whenever you're trying to collaborate doing stuff with either family or friends, and when you're not the normal sort of 9 to 5 every Friday, Saturday. Ooh, nice. So you're also on like a 4-10 schedule or something similar to that. Cool. What is nice about that though, with the 410 schedule, is I like to go grocery shopping on the Fridays. Talking about such mundane stuff, but no, I like going grocery shopping on the Fridays because there's less people there, so I'm able to get in. Day shift goes 5 days a week, nights do 4. All right, you are night shift. Forgot about that. Yeah, but one of the things I like about having Fridays off is those are the days I do grocery shopping. Because it allows me to get in and out of the grocery store quicker. Yeah, it is so nice. Oh, easy. We are battling with the Mini Cooper. Surprisingly, it's being very, very difficult with us. Especially before 11. Yes, exactly. Oh, so nice. I know it's the grocery store. When I used to work the RDO schedule, which was basically every day is minimum 9 hours, where you get every other Friday off, which is how it works for a lot of like defense contracting and stuff like that, or things that at least with government side engineering. It's on the Fridays that I had to work and stuff. I tried to go afterwards, and it was pretty hectic. And driving this car is very, very hectic as well. This is a very, very tail happy car. I need to adjust a lot more settings with this, because it is not playing nice with me right now. I'm definitely hitting the wall way too much. And if I'm not careful enough, I could run out of hit points, the Enthusia points, and I need to take an entire race week off. I have to skip a week, and I'll fall down the rankings, and I don't want to do that. I am very much out of practice. This game handles so differently than a lot of other racing games I play. It's very, very, cars are very, on the slidier side. Like Gran Turismo, especially Gran Turismo 3 and 4, it is also sort of a sim-K for the console. But in those, the vehicles there are more so a little bit kind of sluggish, a little bit closer to sort of an understeer, have a sort of an understeer nature. Here the cars in this game are much more focused towards, or built kind of more towards oversteer, very, very slidey vehicles. And certain rear-wheel drive cars that are already kind of more oversteery in general are, they can be a bit of a handful to drive, I think. But yeah, that was definitely not the best race. We still have a possibility of earning one of these two cars. Got the Mini Cooper S, which is decent. It's a, you know, sporty little hot hatch. But yeah, we are not making any progress towards upgrading our car as of right now, and we are falling down the rankings just a little bit. We need to definitely get ourselves under control. I'm gonna unlock the differential just a little bit more, and I need to adjust a few other things. Now that back some. Amber. So get a little bit more front toe. Do that. Do that. And lower the rear just a tad. There we go. That should be better. Ow. I just hit my hand on my desk. Alright. Let's do the low-end steering challenge. A very kind of wide actual racing track. And we got a good selection of vehicles that we can win as well. Pretty much all of them are, if we finish within the top 4, we have a chance of winning. So let's do this. Let's kind of get reacquainting with the car, have a cleaner race so we can recover some more Enthusia points at the end, and hopefully level up the vehicle's performance just a little bit more. There we go. We got a very good launch out of the start. The G35 or the Skyline 350 GT, it's very, very quick in a straight line, especially sort of from acceleration. It's kind of got right at the threshold between you know, power and grip in a straight line. It's just a little bit squirrely under braking, and around like mid corner, it gets just a little bit crossed up with itself. And I'm trying to kind of adjust the car and my driving style to counteract that, but it does make it difficult. It makes it very, very difficult. You got to be very patient with the throttle application because that VQ engine is also, it's a little bit torquey. It's got a little bit of low end torque as well. So it definitely punishes getting a little bit greedy with the throttle as you're turning. Kind of almost need to drive it like a modern muscle car a little bit. Under the Dunlop Bridge. Trying to trail brake through the S-curve. Transfer the weight back to the other side. Get it turned to the left. Nice and easy around the hairpin. Slowly get back on the throttle. It is an exercise of patience with this car. And when you're trying to outrace vehicles that are considerably faster than you, patience is very hard to come by. Sometimes. Ooh, a little bit squirrely on corner exit there. Keep it nice and stable. Smooth is fast. Smooth is fast. Easy, nice and easy around here. Alright, through the tail, the lion's tail, The corner kind of gradually gets wider, and then it gets really, really tight right on the uphill section just before the backwards Radion corner. Ooh, a little bit of squirreliness there. Alright, through Radion, the car will get really, really light over the crest. Gotta prepare for that. There we go, very good, very good. Alright, use the power, use the VQ engine's power. All 3.5 liters, all 6 cylinders firing as fast as they could go. Alright, ease off the throttle just a little bit, get the car turned in around the banked corner. Alright, slowly get onto the brakes here, get it turned in for the tight hairpin switchbacks to the left, back again to the right. Oh gosh. Get it uncrossed up there. It's a very slow speed corner, it's a little wild and there we go. Great, 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 great. We're still a decent way into the lead. That Evo behind us is just a little bit less than 2 seconds behind. We have a decent amount of breathing room. Though if we're not careful, that we can easily lose that time if we go into a spin through one of these very, very tight hairpin corners here onto the front foot corner. Alright, nice and easy, nice and easy. And that Evo is definitely giving me just a little bit of issues. I see them, I hear them ever so faintly just in my left ear. Now in my right ear. They're right behind me. I barely even need to look in the mirror. I can kind of hear them. They're very, very close. I just look in the mirror. Yeah, I can see them. They're very close. Just gotta keep the car nice and smooth through here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Alright, over the crest, watch it'll get light there. Alright, Evo is gaining on us through backwards Radion. A little bit of understeer through the dip. A little bit slidey through the crest. Still good, still good. We have a little bit of a momentum advantage on the Evo. We should be able to cross the line in first. First win of the stream. Very, very good. Always feels good to kind of brush off the dust, kind of get back into the swing of things. Very nice. Alright, let's see what car we get. We have so many options. A lot of good options as well. Everything from Miatas to the Civic Type R, the M3. We got the Evo. Oh, we got the Evo 7. Very nice. With the 4G63 engine, turbocharged, 280 horsepower, four-wheel drive. Very, very nice. Got that rally pedigree as well. And we had a completely clean race, finally. Starting to come to grips with the car. Took way too many races to come to grips with the car. Car's gonna be a little bit lighter now, a little bit more maneuverable, but also a little bit more tail happy as well. So I gotta watch that. All right, now let's focus on getting our ranking back. Try to get it really, really low. Ooh, a couple different events available to us. One of them is the Japanese Car Limited race around Autumn Hill. A lot of kind of sweeper corners here. Not a whole lot of really hard braking. Could be a race where we do really well in. Definitely beneficial to more of a momentum style driving, momentum style car. Lot of beautiful multicolored cars with all the fall leaves. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Now let's try to outbrake the Celica GT4 going around the tight right-hand corner here. A lot of cars with rally pedigree, a bunch of Celicas, a couple Evos, one of them even a Tommi Mäkinen edition, which if you're not familiar with rally racing, Tommi Mäkinen was the factory Mitsubishi rally racer during the late 90s and early 2000s. He actually got Mitsubishi a couple of the World Rally Championships with his driving in specifically the Evo 4 rally car. And so for the Evo 5, they made a very special edition to commemorate his victories. And it's distinguishable with its side black and white stripe, as well as a few other little decals around the car. A very valuable collector's edition for the Evo 5. And it's really cool as well. Got an Evo 7 as well. We've already kind of dueled with one of those in the previous race. We're racing against that now as well. And of course the Celica GT4, where the rally car version had the Cheat C restrictor plate that would open up and allow more air into the turbocharger at full throttle. And it took the FIA forever to discover. Whole lot of different Japanese rally street versions of the rally cars we were racing against. And we actually doing really well, keeping the car off the walls, off of the dirt, off of the cars, nice and smooth through the corners. A little bit wide there, but we kept it going. Just a slightly different racing line. Through the tunnel chicane. Nice. Alright. Nice and easy through here. Feather the throttle, keep it very smooth through these sweeper corners. Don't want to upset the balance of the car too much. And yeah, you kind of get into a nice kind of calm rhythm on this track. Not too aggressive, very patient, and the car will reward you with a very fast lap time. Under 50 seconds. Very good. And we're actually doing really well. This is kind of surprising. I was expecting to have to fight, especially one of those Evos, just a little bit more. Because those Evos are quite quick around some of these tracks. That Celica's holding its own as well. That's still in second place, despite it being considered one of the slower cars. It's still doing very good. One of the Integra Type R as well is cool fact about the Integra Type R, especially the DC2 chassis. The Acura Integra Type R and the Honda Integra Type R are actually they're quite distinguishable from each other aside from the badges. If it has the 4 round headlights, it's the American market version. And if it's the Japanese market version, it has sort of the 2 sort of standard, very kind of wide, kind of short, wide headlights, as opposed to the 4 round ones. And though that's kind of how you distinguish between like if you debadge both of them, that is how you would distinguish between the American and the Japanese ones. But both of them still were very similar performance-wise. Both the K series inline 4-cylinder engine, 2-liter, 200 some horsepower, very high revving red line, very lightweight, very sophisticated suspension systems. Very fast for a front-wheel drive car. Ooh, had a little bit of an off-course excursion there. The little health bar popped at the bottom to kind of let me know, hey, you went off course just a little bit. Had a little bit of a track limits warning. Ooh, easy, easy, easy. Still though, we're keeping the car pointed the right direction all the way through. Keeping it off the walls. And we're steadily pulling away from the rest of the pack as well. We're doing really well on this race. But Autumn Hill and Autumn Mountain are two of my more two of the courses I do genuinely really like, just because I like the flow of the corners. You're just constantly kind of going from one corner into the next, and it's very easy to get into a rhythm on this track, especially the shorter Autumn Hill track. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Goodwood the Goodwood circuit, where it's, you know, like a one sort of prominent chicane, but the rest is sort of a lot of more momentum based. You can kind of semi-slide around the corners, hit a little bit of slip angle in the car, and just kind of keep a rhythm through. Very simplistic, but very quick lap times as well. And it's so much fun. We got two different, well, and also there's a chance we can get no cars as well. But we got the Emira 2 GTS, the SW20, the snap oversteer, the snap oversteer king. Very difficult car to drive, especially in the wet, due to its mid-engine nature and somewhat simplistic rear suspension design. It is a little bit of a tricky car to drive. But it is an absolutely gorgeous car, the SW20 Emira 2. I've got quite a bit of points. I've got 660. Our rankings increased just a little bit more. Always good, always very good. Alright, and our vehicle is now level 7. Getting close to that level 10 for its fully upgradable. Let's do another race, sort of a redemption race on the Nordschleife. Again, it's going to be against Honda NSX, mid-engine V6, 280 horsepower. Basically the car that kind of sort of shook up the supercar scene during the 90s, because it not only was, you know, a high-performance mid-engine, you know, performance vehicle from Japan, no less, but it was also quite reliable in comparison to the otherwise somewhat finicky supercars at the time. And it had a lot of help during the development phase. Ayrton Senna, which drove for McLaren, which was powered by Honda engines. Ayrton Senna did a lot of development work on the first generation Honda NSX. He was kind of sort of a de facto test driver, and when they were developing it, he kind of sung its praises. What are some other cool facts about the NSX? It was one of the first vehicles to heavily utilize aluminum, not only in the body panels but on the chassis as well, which allowed it to be very lightweight, and that allowed it to get its high performance cornering capabilities as well. Just absolutely really cool car, the NSX is. It's a car that definitely woke up Ferrari and Lamborghini as well. Of hey, Japan can make mid-engine supercars as also. It's just a really cool car. That definitely car that goes in a dream garage. But we are into the lead now. Let's make sure we keep the lead. Keep our vehicle nice and stable under braking. Got to be really patient with the throttle. I've managed to kind of, with the settings, adjust some of the oversteer out of the car, make it just a little bit less tail happy. But it can't quite remove all of it, so we still got to be really careful, especially on some of the bumpier sections on the later half of this course. because those bumps can really upset the balance of the car if you're not careful, or if you take them wrong. All right, back onto the brakes. The car turned in with the right trajectory. All right, through the S curves. Make sure we don't spin our vehicle here. Take a little bit of curve on the inside and on the outside. All right, back on the throttle now, full throttle. Oh, dear. Nope. I tried to adjust my position under braking, and the car was not having that. The car decided, no, I am not gonna obey you. Have some wall. And the Nordschleife is a very, very tricky course. I still can't, even despite watching old footage, I still can't believe they used to race Formula 1 cars around this track during the 60s and 70s. I mean, even during the 50s as well, but especially during the 60s and 70s, when they moved to mid-engine cars and cars that started getting, you know, downforce and faster cornering speeds and everything. It took a guy nearly getting, I wouldn't say just a guy. It took Niki Lauda's accident, you know, nearly getting, you know, burnt to death, for them to decide just to race purely on the Grand Prix circuit. Just because, you know, safety was very, very different back then during the 70s. It was a very different ball game. And the Spa circuit as well, that one had to go through some major changes to be the circuit it is today, because that was also a very, very dangerous circuit. And it still is a fairly dangerous circuit as well, especially the Radion corner, that sort of downhill then uphill, left, right, left section. Very, very high speed, blind corner, you can't see over it. And there isn't really a whole lot of runoff on either side either, so if you hit a wall, you kind of get bounced back onto the track. Due to the fact that the track kind of needs to go over a river, so it's very difficult to build runoff there. It's very, very tricky, that section. Both from an engineering perspective, tricky to design it to be safe, and also from a driving perspective, it's very, very tricky to get over it without, you know, any issues. Especially in a vehicle with less downforce, it's a very, very scary experience. Nice around the tight hairpin here. Going to be going around the carousel section now, where it's paved with concrete. Very, very rough, very bumpy, heavily banked. Very easy to get your car spun around here if you're not too careful. That happened to us earlier. Get around there nice and easy. Going fairly well though. We're still well into the lead. Oh, easy, easy. Get it nice and turned in. Kind of need to get into sort of a rhythm, almost go into a trance a little bit through the kind of undulating, rolling hill section, sort of the semi-final sector before the really, really long straight. Don't get the car spun around like that. Okay, we managed to save it, thankfully. But yeah, you gotta watch yourself. Make sure you don't take too much speed with the corners or try to overcorrect your car like I just did. Oh boy. Alright, there we go. Let's kind of get back into the rhythm. Kind of shake off that mistake there. Hit the brakes just before the jump here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Alright, found a couple of corners before the really long straight at the back of the track, and over a mile long. You're reaching pretty much top speed throughout the entire, you know, close to the end there on most vehicles. And it is a true test of not only engine endurance, but also driver endurance as well, because, you know, you gotta really kind of be focusing, you know, try to find your braking points as you're getting close to the end of the straight. You gotta have that all planned out and sort of visualize in your head as you're going down, getting close to, you know, upper hundreds, maybe sometimes 200 depending on the type of vehicle. Man, this track is a terrifying track, the Nordschleife. Gotten past, getting close to 160. We're at 160 now. Very, very fast. All right, let's get it turned in. A little bit off the throttle. All right, as you go down into this crest, slowly ease onto the brakes. Sometimes the car will get crossed up like that. All right, down in the second gear. Do these final S curves. All right, round a really tight right-hander. Make sure we don't spin the car on exit. And across the line. There we go. That was a mostly clean lap around the Nordschleife. Under 9 minutes, which isn't bad. Not great, but definitely not bad. I say mostly clean. We had quite a few off-course excursions, actually. Now, let's see what car we're able to get. We had a decent selection as well. We got the Jaguar XKR. Got the NSX. Ooh, Alpha 147 GTA. Okay. Another kind of sporty hot hatch. Very nice. Very, very nice. I got a decent amount of points as well. That'll definitely help level up the vehicle to the next level of performance. We've leveled up as well. We'll recover more hit points at the end of a race as well. Alright, weight's been saved to its maximum level. We just need to upgrade the engine one more time and upgrade the tires one more time. Alright, our rankings increased just a little bit more. Getting really, really close. Alright, let's see. What RS events are currently going on? Rally Car Championship. Okay. Alright, so there's still 3 more Rally Car Championships, Rally Car races, and then it'll go back to races available for street cars. Okay, cool. Because the RS events, those ones pay out the big points, but those usually have different regulations and stuff preventing you from entering if you're not if you're not if you don't meet those regulations, you can't enter. All right, we're going to be racing on Bergen. All right, I want to actually hear how this is pronounced. Bergenschlock. Okay, cool. I'm familiar with German. Bergenschlock. Okay, cool. Bergenschlock. Which I think is like Castletown or something like that. regardless, it's kind of, you know, a bunch of older kind of German roads running through sort of a smaller German town. Got a couple of got a highway section as well where you can kind of get up to high speed. But yeah, it's, oh gosh, that was an accident there. Easy, easy, kind of avoid some of the cars. Alright, let's try to get back past this roof. Alright, they got a little bit squirrely through that chicane there. We managed to take that in more of a straight line. Let's outbrake the Camaro. There we go, we're into the lead now. Slowly get back onto the throttle. Back again to the left. The Camaro's gonna try to outbrake us. Looking down the inside. Alright, let's try to out-accelerate the big, powerful V8 LS motor of the Camaro here. Throw the car around the kind of left-hand kink. There we go. We have a lot more momentum than the rest of the cars going through that corner, which allows us to gain a lot of time on a straight. Alright, back down the gears. The car turned in. Okay. Tried to take a little bit too much speed in that corner. Definitely didn't work out. Still a little bit oversteer if you try to push a little bit too hard. Oh dear. Nice and easy. Alright, cross the bridge section. Gotta watch the loss of traction on the cobblestones. Alright, back into the village for the first lap, about to be done. This track kind of gives the vibes almost of an old Grand Prix course, where basically starts in a town square, goes through sort of a bunch of public roads, comes back to the town. That's a lap. And that kind of is how a lot of older Grand Prix tracks were, including up in Watkins Glen. If you're familiar with American courses, the Watkins, when they used to race in Watkins Glen, it used to be like through the town and through like the surrounding sort of mountainous roads up by the Finger Lakes in New York, before they decided to build a purpose-built racetrack. And if you're ever up in Watkins Glen, there's the Motor Racing Research Center, and they got a cool video about the history of the track, and kind of how it originated and everything. Because the track itself up there, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like it's in wine country and everything, but it's otherwise it's in the middle of nowhere. Like there isn't a whole lot of cities nearby. It's very, very countryside, very rural. So with that, you know, it is cool seeing the developmental process of, you know, how that track came to be and the history behind it. Plus also the Motor Racing Research Center has a lot of really cool books about, you know, automotive race car design and everything, and biographies about, you know, and about different, you know, racing drivers, team owners, engineers, and everything. There's a whole bunch of stuff on Colin Chapman there as well. You know, the Lotus, the head of Lotus for the longest time. And usually they have an old historic racing vehicle or sports car on display as well, which is really cool. And they usually have some featured books or featured media on that display vehicle, kind of shown. So when I went up there a couple years back, they had the McLaren MP. One of the older 70s McLarens, the one that Emerson Fittipaldi raced in. The later 70s ones, because it didn't have the giant airbox. The alphanumerical isn't coming to me. I think it was the MP4 or something. No, MP4 is Senna's era. I'll have to look that up after. But it was, you know, Pietro Fittipaldi's racing car that's now used in historic Grand Prix racing, and that whole bunch of stuff about like the McLaren racing team, Bruce McLaren, and everything, which is really cool. I get the car nice and turned around. There we go. There we go. Alright, down the really long highway section. Make sure we get the car nice and slowed down at the very end. Probably right around here, I think. It's hard to determine a braking point because there aren't any really any corner markers on this way around the track. Because we're on the reverse version. And so that makes it very, very tricky to judge your braking zones. Roughly how far back you need to be to brake. Oh, easy, easy. Okay, lost a little bit of control there. Let's make sure we get back. Okay, there we go. Very, very nice. That was a lot closer than that needed to be, especially near the end. That SL500 was kind of sneaking up on us just a little bit. Must have gotten a really, really good run on that final sector. Okay, we didn't get any cars, so that's unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate. That's alright. Alright, our ranking's steadily improving, which is good. Very, very good. Car is now up to level 8. I think it's still been at level 8. Okay, and now we have the Saint Germain Cup. Now, this is a track I am very much not good at, and there's a lot of very high-powered cars here. I might pass on this one and do... Might pass that and do the Pacific Challenge at Pacific Gateway. Yeah, we got a couple of vehicles that we can race against. We got an Evo 8, Civic Type Bar, Dodge Viper. The Viper might be a little bit tricky because it's got that big V10 power. Which will definitely help on that steep uphill section. It's kind of weird that the first and last sector on this course are very much power sectors. Very, very beneficial to having very high-powered vehicles. But that middle sector definitely favors very, very nimble, very maneuverable cars. And so it is interesting if you have to try to set your vehicle up for this course. You need kind of a really good all-round contender. But regardless, so if you do not have enough power, you will be absolutely destroyed on these uphills here. Alright, to the bus stop chicane, back on a downhill section now. Easy. a tight right-hand hairpin. Alright, let's go back again to the left. And this is a very, very tricky section as well, because it is very undulating, a lot of bumps. Very, very bumpy. So if we're a little bit too aggressive on the throttle, we can very easily light up those rear tires and go into a slide, which will slow us down quite a lot. I gotta watch ourselves on this right-hander here, especially as on exit it goes through a fairly steep dip. There we go, nice and easy. All right, what is that car right behind us? That looks like that's the Viper. No, that's the, okay, that's the Evo 8. I've got an Evo 8 behind us. About equal in terms of horsepower. We got a little bit more torque than them because we have a little bit more displacement. They have that turbocharger, which will help in the upper end RPMs. They have four-wheel drive and a little bit better aero with that rear spoiler. And more so that four-wheel drive would definitely be advantageous to them. The car nice, gently around these corners. Okay. Yeah, that Evo is really close behind us. We're battling with a lot of Evos today, it seems. Battle with a couple Evo 7s, an Evo 5. We're battling with an Evo 8 now. Lots of different Lancer evolutions. Nice and easy around these corners. Trying to make a move on the inside. I'm gonna let you have that for right now because I don't want to risk contact and spinning and end up worse off. But I'm gonna definitely try to pass you back going into the left-right chicane. The little bus stop coming up just up ahead. Got a better run out of that corner than you. Moving on to the inside. Gonna try to make a pass. Very good, very good. There we go. We made the pass stick. Very smooth. Very nice. And a celebratory, very wide slide through the first corner. This is still a very, very tail-happy car, but we've gotten to the point where we can kind of control it just a little bit. Over the jumps, back uphill into sort of the right-hander that leads into the bus stop chicane. Very nice, very easy. Short shifting a little bit on the downhill just to make sure we maintain traction. Yeah, the car is a lot more controllable now that we've kind of ironed out some of the kinks. Still a little kinky, but the car is mostly fine. Alright, you're back into the lead again. That is perfectly fine. I'm going to try to pass on this left-hander here. Carry momentum through those corners just a little bit. Easy. There we go. Okay, on to the back straight. Heading into the little bus stop chicane. Get the trajectory just right. A little bit of curve here, a little bit of curve there. Back on the throttle. Around the corner. Very nice. Yeah, now we're starting to kind of win a lot more events. Which is definitely a good sign. We're starting to really kind of come to grips with the car. Took a little bit longer than it should have. We have two choices, two different vehicles who can win out of the Civic Type R or the Evo 8. Got the Evo 8. Got a couple of different Lancer evolutions. Very, very nice. Got some more points that'll help upgrade the tires of the car and make it even grippier. Kind of help deal with the oversteer issue just a little bit. Nice, nice, nice. All right, we're at level 9 now. One more race before it's at max level. Let's make the next one a really good one. We might be able to go for an RS race depending on what it is. Oh, the Rev City Roulette. 7 laps around Rev City. Oh, we're gonna be up against ooh. Oh, this one's gonna be fun. We're gonna be up against 2 Skyline GT-Rs, an R32 and an R33. We are also technically in a Skyline, but not a GT-R Skyline. This one is gonna be fun. Let's show our Skyline brothers that a GT-R badge does not necessarily mean that they're the faster car. Let's do this. Alright. And this is a very, very, very high speed circuit as well. Rev City, a lot of momentum based corners, a lot of very fast, very flowing corners. A little bit of wheel spin off the line. The Skylines with their 4-wheel drive will have a little bit of advantage on acceleration, but I am not seeing them yet. Come on, let's do this. Let's leave them well in our dust. Alright, a little bit of a mistake there. Ran just a little bit wide. Try to carry just a little bit too much speed through that left-hander. Let's sort of get our place back. Let's regain our bearings. We've got this. Over the jump, keep our vehicle very nice and stable over there. The car turned into the sharp left-hander. Back again to the right. You can kind of make some use of that. Back to the left. I go right on the outside, use a little bit of curbing. Set ourselves up for the front straight where we can try to really gain a whole lot of speed. Take as much speed as we can to that corner. We've got this. We've got this. First lap complete. Right now, the Evo 3, I think that's the Evo 3, is a car that's really kind of challenging us. The 2 Skylines are mired kind of closer to the back. Kind of a big, kind of wide, shallow angle slide through that very long left-hand corner, through the bus stop chicane. Just barely graze the wall and exit. Get about as close as you can to the clipping point of that apex as you can without hitting it. Over the jump, keep it nice and stable. Alright, nice, hard on the brakes, get the car turned in through the sharp left corner. Probably one of the sharper corners in the game, along with that sharp right-hand corner after the bus stop. And then back to a lot of very, very fast, very flowing corners. That definitely punish you if you try to take a little bit too much speed though, like that. Yeah, going full throttle for that left-hander I don't think is quite possible. We'll kind of have to feather the throttle a little bit, modulate our speed. Nice and turned in. car nice and set up for the bus stop chicane. There we go. We are still pulling away from the rest of the pack. This non-GT-R Skyline, the Infiniti G35, depending on what you call it, regardless of what you call it, is definitely serving us well on this higher speed track. Alright, hard onto the brakes again, get the car nice and turned in. Alright, let's try to get a little tippy tap of the brakes just to transfer some weight back to the front wheels as we go around this double, very, very wide, very sweeping, high-speed left-hander. And I think that's the better way to take it. Just a little tap of the brakes, get the weight transferred back to the front. Alright, hard on the brakes, get the car nice and gently turned in. Through the bus stop. Preferably not by doing that. Into the tunnel section. Again with a double, very kind of sweeper left-hand corners. I carry a lot of speed through the front straight into the kind of tighter left-hand, kind of almost a hairpin, but not quite a hairpin corner. It's a very, very long left-hand sweeper that leads almost directly into the bus stop chicane. Take that in as close to a straight line as possible. You definitely don't want to over-exaggerate your steering inputs there, because then it leaves you on compromise on exit, like what happened with the previous lap with me, what I tried doing. You definitely want to keep it kind of shallow. Alright, nice and easy. Get it turned in. Alright, yeah, we are still steadily pulling away. It's really only been that Evo that's kind of been challenging us. Those Skylines are nowhere to be seen. I was expecting them to kind of come up much closer to us than they have. But no, they are very, very far back. Car nice and turned in. I got 2 laps to go. We've got this. We are very, very far in the lead. Very, very, very kind of heavy, very kind of sharp slide through there. That definitely slowed us down just a little bit. Probably looked cool though, but we need to make sure we kind of keep the vehicle mostly aligned with the rest of the road, not sideways throughout the entire race. Right, run ourselves out wide just a little bit. Get ready for the final lap. Let's try to set a little bit faster time than 1:13. We've been kind of pulling away by a little bit over a second a lap from that Evo 3. Do the bus stop. Car nice and slow down for the tight right-hander. Slowly get back on the throttle. Come on, let's get faster than a 113. We got this. No mistakes. The car nice and just shallowly rotated around that tight left-hander. Use a little bit of slip angle. Alright, a little tap of the brakes at the car to turn in just a little bit more through this high-speed sweeper. Start gaining more speed on exit. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Under 13, under a minute and 13 seconds to the final lap. That's very good. Good, 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 good. Very nice. Finally kind of managed to buckle down there. Which is good. Those Skylines, I thought they were going to be a bigger challenge. We've got a Legacy. The Legacy B4. The high performance turbocharged 280 horsepower Legacy. Very, very nice. And here we go. Our vehicle now is level 10. We'll do one more race with it at max level. And then we'll get since this is a sporty car. Sorry, this is a specialty car. We'll be racing then in a sporty car next. And there we go. Our ranking is definitely increased by quite a bit by winning that race. Very, very good. Very nice. Ooh, okay. What do we want to do? I think we should do the Japanese car limited race around Autumn Mountain. There's a lot of different vehicles we can win here. Kind of fill up our vehicle collection just a little bit more, especially with a couple of different Japanese JDM tuner cars and stuff. Really, really cool. And also, with the fall, the fall scenery and everything on the track, I really like. It'll be a good send off for this car. Now let's get past the Civic and Altezza, the IS200, as it's known in the States. Alright, let's keep up the speed through here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Through all the beautiful Japanese maple trees. Around there, really kind of nice, flowing kind of back roads and stuff. A lot of very smooth, a lot of kind of, very, very, very enjoyable corners here. Past the houses, past sort of the nice kind of rural neighborhood, onto the front straight for the first time. Lap 105 is about to be complete. All right, back hard onto the brakes as we get into the sort of wide but ever slightly tightening sort of left-hand sweeper. Alright, through the forest section, through the evergreen section with the really, really tall, very, very tall trees. Alright, get the car down a gear, hard on the brakes, get it turned in to the left, through the sort of the little kink, slow it down the second gear for a very, very sharp right-hand corner as the track does narrow a little bit. Narrows even further through the tunnel chicane to the left, back again to the right. Kind of need to transfer your weight a little bit if your car gets a little slidey. Alright, now to the hairpin left. Kind of a wide hairpin. It is banked a little bit in your favor. We still got to be a little bit careful because it also goes uphill, so uphill in this variation. So you do need to watch out for understeer as weight gets slowly transferred to the rear wheels. Oh, ran just a little bit wide there through the S-curves. Alright, through the final sort of residential corner onto the home straight. Let's try to run just a little bit faster next time, and preferably without hitting the wall. Just want an even cleaner lap time now. A nice, easy turned in. Run wide, and then get closed back up again. There we go, around the hairpin. Nice and easy. Again, I do really enjoy this type of track, where it's got lots of kind of longer flowing corners that kind of go one into the next. You really kind of get into a nice kind of rhythm, nice trance. And even though you're kind of in a trance, you do the car, you know, go ever so get gradually faster and faster as you know, kind of go deeper into that trance. Now in a 122.22, probably get it below 122 through this lap. And it's definitely a track that rewards patience above all else, and kind of understanding your vehicle's driving dynamics, flowing from one corner to the next. Rhythm with the gas, the brakes, and the steering. Very, very nice. Very, very, very relaxing, this course. I love driving this course. It's always so much fun. Especially as the trees kind of, especially in a faster car, the trees kind of turn into a bit of a blur as you're just kind of rushing by them, you know, blur of oranges, yellows, and reds, and everything. Fall weather in general is always a lot of fun to drive in, just because, especially where I'm from, it's just very, very. It's not quite too cold, and you know, get all the colors and everything. And it's one of the few times here in Maryland where it's not like a complete swamp. It's you know, it's actually a little bit drier, a little bit cooler, but not like, you know, cold and wet. Kind of gets just a little bit drier for like two or 3 weeks in like late September. And that is like the perfect driving time, where you kind of, you know, you go out to the countryside, and you kind of drive, you know, at a slightly elevated speed through the back winding roads and stuff. Oh, and it's so much fun. Now let's get around this corner here. Get across the line for a final race with the Skyline. Very, very nice. We only had one lap with a collision or an off-course excursion. Every other lap was clean. Very, very nice. Alright, let's see what car we get. Ooh, an R30, the R33 Skyline GT-R. Very, very nice. With that RB26 DETT engine. Double over a cam. Very, very powerful. Turbocharged. Very nice. Alright, good. We've leveled up as well. Our ranking has improved even further. Alright. Records. Let's see what the calendar says real quick with the next series of races will be. So this is a question. Because the rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and front-wheel drive championship all reward racing cars. And it's kind of the only real way to win racing cars in the game. We've got a half-decent rear-wheel drive car. Should we continue to drive the Skyline 350 GT for just a little? It's only 2 more races. It's only 2 more races. It's only a couple more races. We'll keep driving the Skyline for just a little bit longer. We'll do a race on a Speediopolis ring. Just to kind of get a nice, quick, high-speed run going. And then we'll be doing the rear-wheel drive championship, as that is what is coming up. That is what is scheduled to be coming up next for the RS races. And we will then be able to get some racing cars if we do well enough. Alright, quick into the lead. Quick lost the lead. That Skyline, that Nismo-tuned Skyline is going to be very, very fast on the straights. We'll just have to hope we can go just a little bit quicker. A little tippy-tap of the brakes. The car nice and easy, maneuver it around. Yeah, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it's only got about 9 degrees of banking. Very, very flat oval. Despite it being 2.5 miles, it's a bit tricky. It was definitely designed more so for open wheel racing cars more so than anything else with regards to the oval layouts. Because I do know the stock cars do have a little bit of difficulty around this track, just with how flat it is. Formula One actually used to race on Indianapolis before they moved to the Circuit of the Americas, basically sort of throughout the early 2000s. And a funny story with that, during the 2005 series, during the 2005 Formula One Championship, there was a rule put in place where the teams couldn't change the teams couldn't change tires throughout the race. Basically, you had to have one tire and you had to make it last throughout the entire. Yeah, you one set of tires to make it last throughout the entire race. Granted, that rule was very, very quickly scrapped at the end of the season. Nobody liked it, and it caused quite a bit of controversy. It was very, very unsafe. The rule was basically meant to sort of target Ferrari's dominance, because Ferrari had kind of worked with Bridgestone, their tire manufacturer, to develop a really, really super soft compound tire that was really, really quick, but but wore out really quickly. And basically they would, do 4 or 5 stop strategies, but because the tire was so quick, they would make up the time lost in the pits. And during that time period, there was sort of a tire war going on. It was Bridgestone and Michelin were the 2 tire suppliers. And basically, Bridgestone supplied Ferrari and like 2 other back market teams, because they basically developed the tires purely for Ferrari. And the other teams just kind of got them for a little bit cheaper than Michelin, whereas Michelin kind of developed more so an all-round tire. just before 2000, like before the 2005 season, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway was resurfaced, and during that time period, what had happened was they used diamond cutting, which basically cuts like a bunch of grooves into the surface, makes it very, very flat as well, kind of very, very smooth if you're going like if you're running parallel to the grooves, but kind of rougher as you're like sliding up or down the track. And what it does basically, not only does it help with water drainage, but it makes the track smoother as you're driving along, less likely to damage suspension components. But it also helps with lateral grip, because the tires kind of dig into the grooves just a little bit going around the corners. So it does increase speeds ever so slightly. Now, Bridgestone, their sort of sister company, Firestone, at the time, supplied tires for the IndyCar. Granted, during that time, there was the split, which is something else to talk about. Basically, you had one series that raced primarily on ovals, that was the Indy Racing League, and then the other series was CART, the Championship Auto Racing Teams, which raced primarily on road courses and street circuits, and a couple ovals as well, but they're primarily a road course racing series. But Firestone supplied tires to the Indy Racing League at the time that raced. That was the league that raced at the Indianapolis 500. So of course Firestone, and by extension Bridgestone, had a lot of data on the track surface and how the banking would and diamond cutting and everything would affect tire wear. Michelin, they did run a couple of simulations and stuff. They did a little bit of testing, but they weren't quite as aware of how that new track surface would really affect tire life. Now remember, during this championship, the 2005 Formula One championship, teams could not change tires in the middle of the race unless someone had like a puncture or like, for safety reasons. So you were running on one singular tire throughout the entire race. And this had previously caused controversy at it was either the German Grand Prix or the European Grand Prix, but it was at the Nürburgring GP circuit where Kimi Räikkönen early on flat spotted one of the tires under braking very, very early on during the Grand Prix, and because he couldn't change it because the tire wasn't flat, he was dealing with constant suspension vibrations and everything because the tire is it is no longer round. It has kind of been worn down and kind of has a flatter edge on one side of the tire. And that caused his suspension to fail close to the end of the race, and his car to kind of fly sort of into the turn one and into the barriers. So that already raised, a lot of issues with driver safety and all that stuff. And those already talks of removing that rule. Well, the U.S. Grand Prix comes a bit later in the season. All right, and it's there is some talk about how the new diamond grooving will affect the tires and everything. But Bridgestone's pretty confident their tires will be perfectly fine, and Michelin's mostly confident as well. So they go there, they're racing on the road course at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which uses some of the oval, but not all of the oval. Basically, it uses turn one of the oval for the final corner before the finish straight. It kind of starts it backwards and kind of runs past the pit lane and then turns and goes an infield road course section. With that, so they're running the tests and everything. It's the testing day, practice sessions and everything. And one of the drivers on basically the final turn all of a sudden has a blowout, and they're going very, very fast because it's part of the oval section. And they slide upwards into the wall, and have a very, very heavy collision. I think it was the Toyota. I think it was one of the Toyota Formula One cars that crashed. I have to double check that. But yeah, the driver was pretty badly injured as well. He wasn't able to race. and I thought, okay, that's weird. You know, the one of the tires completely popped. You know, it basically had an entire gash in it. But you know, they're continuing practice and everything. They are, you know, everything's going reasonably well. And then another driver crashes at the exact same spot with the same corner, with the same tire, like the same tire issue, with a massive sort of slash, a massive puncture in the tire. Huh, that's interesting. So they do kind of a sweep of the track, try to make sure there's no debris or anything like that, kind of, you know, run a bunch of sweepers around. They have another incident where thankfully another driver didn't crash, but another driver came in with a puncture on the same side of the car that looked very similar to the other two that did crash. And the piecing it together, hang on a second, all of these tires are Michelin tires. Oh no. So there was a massive controversy. The teams realized, okay, it's the tires are having an issue. So they're trying to work with the FIA, the governing body for Formula One, and they're trying to come to a solution. Okay, can we change the course to add like a chicane before that final corner, so the slow speeds down, so we're not taking that as fast? No, we can't do that because we can't have the course an FIA grade 1. We can't have it suitable for F1 then. Okay, well, what if we all run the Bridgestone tires? The Bridgestone factories, you know, we can get tires shipped in. No, that won't be possible either. Well, what if we allow tires to be changed for this race, and this race just doesn't count for points? Nope, we can't allow that either. So basically, during the formation lap of the race, which is basically where all the cars, you know, kind of do like a sort of a parade, like the first sort of a parade lap around before the actual race starts. Just kind of do a quick track reconnaissance. All the drivers, you know, are initially on the grid. They do that, and then one by one, all of the Michelin teams go into the pits, and you are left with 3 teams, basically the Ferraris, and then like the Minardi's and the Jordans, I believe, that were also running the Bridgestone tires, because those were perfectly fine. So you had a 6-car Formula One race that people paid a lot of money to go to, and fans were absolutely furious. Oh, they were. I think that alone set back Formula One in the States about a decade. And only 2 or 3 years later, because the 2008 season was the final season that they ran the Indy. That was the final race at Indianapolis, and the final race for the US Grand Prix until 2014, when they finished development of the Circuit of the Americas. So 6 years without a US Grand Prix. Yeah, that was a really big, really big controversy, and it kind of led to the resignation of Max Mosley, sort of head of the FIA and head of the Formula One at the time, and kind of allowed Bernie Ecclestone to kind of take a lot more of the reins during that time period, because otherwise it was a mess. And it was kind of funny. I remember watching that when I was younger, with my parents, because I was really into motorsport. And I remember watching the Grand Prix because I was super hype about it. Because I always loved watching when Formula One came to the States, especially once they moved to the Indianapolis circuit as opposed to some of the street courses I raced at during the 90s. And see, my younger mind was absolutely boggled with seeing, all the cars and all the drivers and everything going into the pits in protest, and it being a six-car race, 3-team race. And actually, I was really angry. I think I stopped watching motorsport for a decent while, like a little bit over a year, I think. It wasn't until like '08 where I kind of really started watching like Formula One and other forms of motorsport again, because I was so frustrated. So I had gotten all hyped up, you know. Oh my gosh, Formula One, they're coming to the States again. I get to watch them, you know, race on like, you know, normal time. I don't have to get up like super early in the morning and everything to watch it on TV, on cable. And you know, I was super excited about that. You know, my dad and I, we, you know, were sitting in the living room watching it. It's probably one of the few times I also heard my dad swear as well, because he was, you know, what the. He was, you know, he's usually, you know, pretty, you know, averse to swearing, but he was up in arms about it as well. He was like, "Oh, this is an outrage! What the?" You know? Oh my gosh, it's kind of fun to look back on it now, but oh, we were truly very, very upset at the time. But it is kind of a cool rabbit hole to go down, you know, all the different sort of things they tried to plan and everything, and how, you know, no one really wanted to budge, and it kind of ruined the experience for everyone. It was definitely one of the worst Formula One races of all time. Definitely a race that would live on in infamy anyway. Now let's pass this Jaguar. They're very slow in the corners. They're very fast on the straights. They're very slow and sluggish on the corners. You try to carry a little bit more speed than them around that corner. There we go. We're passing now on the outside. A little bit of contact. Let's go a little bit deeper than them onto the brakes. Side by side through most of this lap. Alright, let's see if we can't do a... No, they're blocking us as well through here. I'm definitely going to put the Jaguar between myself and the not a Porsche, roof behind. Come on. You're very slow through this section. I'm passing you on the inside now. There we go. Much better. Much better. Let's keep this position. Let's get a good solid second place so we can get that car. That racing class car. Alright, back onto the brakes, nice and easy. Get it turned in. About halfway through this race. Let's see if we can't try to make a little bit of inroads on that roof in the front. Granted, that is the roof, either the BTR or the CTR Yellowbird. But yeah, very, very high-powered, air-cooled, very powerful Boxer 6 engine, as it is a big turbocharger. The BTR actually was jokingly called the big turbo roof because of the sheer size of the turbocharger on that Boxer 6 engine. And the Yellowbird, at one point, for a short little while, was one of the fastest production cars in the world during the 80s, and set a couple records around the Nordschleife as well. So it's a very fast, very maneuverable, very tail-happy car, because, you know, those era Porsches, and of course the roofs, of course, being based off of the Porsche chassis, were jokingly referred to as Widowmakers because, well, they were very prone to snap oversteer, very finicky to drive. But if you did drive them right at the limit and you could keep them within the limit, they were absolutely gorgeous and brutally fast. Easy, easy, easy. Get it turned back in. There we go. Yeah, we're losing a little bit of time on that roof. Let's try to at least keep and maintain our second place then. Because even if we get second, basically first through fourth will allow us to get that racing car. And we'll try to do at least a couple of these races here. Get a couple of different racing machines. That way we can enter some other racing car only events, and try to fill up our garage with those as well. I do want to try to get all the cars in the game, and I want to try to get all of them up to level 10. Never actually done that before, but I want to try that. This will probably definitely be a much longer kind of continuous playthrough. I get to kind of gush about whatever car I'm driving or stuff like that. Ooh, easy on brakes. Nice and smooth through there. On to the final lap. Definitely pulled away from third and fourth, but first place is well ahead, very far ahead. Car nice and turned in here. Nice and smooth, nice and smooth. Smooth and maneuverable. There we go, onto the front straight for the final time. Really nice. Alright, across the line. Got a new lap record there with this car. Or at least the fastest lap of this race on that final lap. Which is very good. Alright, let's see what we have. Nissan pickup rally car, based I think on the Frontier chassis. And it's basically sort of a trophy truck. 4-wheel drive. Huge off-road wheels. Suspension upgrades and everything. Alright, very nice. Very nice. Lots of points. Our ranking is very up, way up there. Top 10 racers in the game so far. Now let's see what the next RS event is. The Victoria Garden. That one's gonna be a tricky one. But we've got this. Ooh, and this will also allow us to win a race car. This one will allow us to win what looks like to be an older, I say older, like early mid 2000s DTM racing car, which is sort of the German GT touring car championship. Looks like the Mercedes CLK touring car. Be racing around Victoria Garden. It's a really tricky course because the track itself gets very wide and then very narrow as well. I'm gonna try to get a decent lap. And then after this race, we'll switch our car to a sporty car, a sporty category car. And then we'll probably either do one race to sort of kind of get a little bit acquainted with the car, or we will probably end it there depending on the time. We could probably do one more race after this one with the new car, just to kind of showcase the the car we'll be using for the next stream. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll get this race done, and then one more race after that with the new sporty category car. Nice and easy. Keep your momentum around these corners. Alright. Smooth on the brakes. You don't want to spin through here. And very, very tight. Right hand hairpin. Get it turned around. Oh man, that is a very tricky corner. It is basically you almost have to coast to that corner. Alright, full throttle down the front straight. Alright, let's try to pass this Lancia 037 Stradale. Oh, the person behind us tried to make an overtake move that definitely did not stick. That definitely sent them well back to the back of the pack. Ooh, easy. And if you're wondering, yes, that red car that we were racing with, and technically still are just a little bit, yes, that is the road-going version of the Lancia 037 rally car that we were racing 2 days ago in the Rally Fusion stream. That is the homologation road-going version that they had to build 200 of for competition in Group B rally racing, which is really cool. Right now we're in our Nissan 350 GT, known as the Infiniti G35 in the States, battling off against Mercedes, Aston Martins, through this British, very tight, very technical British street circuit. I had to take a very compromised line there with the AMG just behind us. Oh gosh, 3 wide through the tunnel section. That's not going to work. There's also the Aston Martin Vantage behind us as well. Vanquish, one of the two. It's hard to tell. Definitely an Aston Martin. It's right at home on these British streets. But come on, we can do this. We don't need a GT-R Skyline to show them our tire tracks. We got this. We've got this. Full power out of the hairpin, onto the archways. Oh, we got good acceleration out of there. Very, very nice. Alright, we want to watch ourselves with this corner. Oh, missed the apex entirely. Who needs apexes? It's okay. We make up our own racing line as we go along. What's driving theory? Alright, very, very tight. Narrows up quite a bit under the archway. Alright, then we kind of get a wide super corner, widens out a lot. And then again, it goes back very, very narrow into this sort of sweeper right-hand corner. The width of this track changes dramatically throughout the entire course. So you got to really kind of know where you can kind of set your vehicle up for trajectory, how wide you can take certain corners. It is very much a track that takes quite a while to learn, despite the fact that the track itself is very, very short with laps, you know, just under a minute long. You really need to set your vehicle up right, set your driving up right, kind of go into the right mindset of this corner is going to get really, really narrow. I should go a lot slower and have a late apex, where it's going to widen out here. I can take this corner a bit more aggressive, kind of taking an earlier apex. This is a very, very tricky course. It's deceptively so, too. Oh, gosh. Doesn't help when your car is a little bit tail happy. Yeah, that Mercedes is going to have a decent run at our inside. That's fine. Alright, now we've got to deal with the Aston Martin behind us. Alright, let's try to set ourselves up to pass that Mercedes on the front straight. Get this nice and turned in. Very nice and easy. There we go. Decent launch out of the hairpin. Very, very good. Very nice. Alright, nice and smooth. Onto the brakes. Trail brake into this corner. The car nice and rotated in. Get up on the curbing just a little bit. carry momentum through the S curves. Little tap of the wall there. Ran just a tad wide. Took an apex just a little bit too early as well. Alright, kind of ease ourselves up through the tunnel section, or the archway section here. Alright, now through the sweeper left hand, I gotta watch our throttle application. So it can get very easy to get sideways there if we're too greedy with the throttle. Come on. Right with this AMG Mercedes. Very, very tricky. Easy on the brakes. Alright, dive bomb. Inside. If gap car. Couldn't quite make that stick. Through the archway. Get back into the draft of the AMG. We're a little bit closer this time around. Let's try this again. We got 5 more laps to do this in. 5 more chances. Oh dear. That was very sloppy on my part. Very, very, very sloppy. If gap car. Some Brazilian guy said that. That is the poster of on every sim racer's room. If gap car. Alright, nice and easy, nice and easy. Alright, we're back into the lead. Let's try to extend that lead now. Focus now on lap time as opposed to racecraft. The car nice and turned in. Full off throttle, slowly get back on the throttle, get it turned in. Alright, drag race down the start finish straight. The AMG has about 50 more horsepower than us. And it's got a supercharger. But we are a little bit lighter. Alright, passing them around the outside on this corner now. We gotta kind of make a pass stick, especially through that hairpin, because they are faster than us on that start finish straight. And if it comes down to it, we don't want them beating us. Ow. Hey. We don't want them beating us on the final straight. We know they are faster, so we will have to kind of give ourselves a little bit of a cushion, a little bit of leeway. Come on, we've got this, we've got this. Nice and smooth. Alright, into the tight hairpin. Again. Get it nice and turned around. Get it turned around, please. Car did not want to turn in there. Alright, we're back on the back foot now. Alright, about a second behind. Can't really dive bomb from way back here, but we can at least set ourselves up to kind of gain a lot of time through that corner complex. Oh, this is close. We've got 3 more chances to really kind of make that pass stick, but we also got to make sure we're not too aggressive. So if we make another mistake, we'll go from a decent second to a less decent third, as that Aston Martin is putting the pressure on just behind. Of the 3 vehicles here, we are definitely in a vehicle that is a little bit slower. Get the car spun around, use a little bit of the e-brake. Definitely didn't make that stick. We're now bound in the third. Alright, but we can definitely pass the Aston going into the first corner here. Ooh, they're moving the block. They got wide there, that's fine. Little bit of contact. Alright, come on. We really need to push now. We've only really got kind of 1.5 chances left to really get back up with that AMG. That was definitely an overly aggressive move on my part into that hairpin. Let's try to get the position back. Alright, a little bit quicker through that corner. That probably allows us to gain just a little bit of time. 8, 9. And definitely a faster lap. Carry a lot of speed through this first corner. There we go. Back up with the AMG. Alright, we can't really make a pass stick through the tunnels, through the arch section. Alright, we can steadily get closer, ever closer. Ooh. That's gonna be close. Lost a little bit of time getting a little bit sideways there. Throw it into this corner. Use the momentum. Get it turned around. Back on the throttle. Here we go. Here we go. Drag race to the line. Oh, no. It's just a little bit faster. No. Oh, no. Well done. That was very good driving by the AMG. That was a very... that was a very close battle. That was a lot of fun. Well done. And here we are, the Mercedes CLK DTM race car. The Deutsche Tourenwagen Meisterschleife. Got the Vodafone livery as well. 4-liter V8 engine. Producing 469 horsepower. Very, very nice. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, we're going to be switching to the car we'll be using in the next stream. And we'll do one more race just to kind of showcase that car we'll be using in the next stream, and then we'll probably be ending it there. So it is 11 o'clock p.m. where I am. So let's switch out a car. Get rid of the specialty segment. We'll be looking in the sporty segment. Ooh, alright, and we got 6 cars we can choose from this first section here. And you know what? I'm gonna leave it up to chance. I have a D6, a 6-sided die. 1 obviously with the far left, 6 to the far right. Alright, let's roll it. 6. Alright, we're gonna be racing the Storia. We'll be racing the Daihatsu Storia. Very, very nice. Very lightweight, little 4-wheel drive, sporty, hot hatch car. Very, very, very nimble. Very agile. Actually really, really popular in junior or grassroots rally racing due to the fact that it was a fairly cheap and lightweight 4-wheel drive car that was easily upgradable. Definitely kind of has sort of a place in grassroots motorsports Hall of Fame, especially like Japanese and a lot of like East Asian countries. Really popular there as a rally car. Let's run a few. Let's adjust a few settings here. Lower the vehicle just a tad. Get that turned in. Stiffen it up. Stiffen the fronts up just a little bit more than. Actually, want to stiffen the rears up just a little bit more. Just a little bit towards oversteer, since it is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. A little bit towards acceleration, and that is way too much lock on the differentials. Let's adjust that back some. There we go. Much better. Much better. Alright, let's join a race. Just to kind of get a feel for a vehicle before we end it here. And let's do a race on the Tsukuba circuit. Very tight, twisty course. Japanese course. Very famous Japanese course as well. Used in a lot of sort of automotive tests. It's where they hold a lot of time attack events where getting under a minute lap time on the course is seen as sort of like the benchmark for a good tuned vehicle. Like, you know, a high performance, really kind of like professionally tuned vehicle. Getting under a minute is sort of like the benchmark there. We've got this. Alright, a little bit sluggish off the line. Yeah, the car itself is not powerful. but it is very maneuverable. So let's make sure we kind of use the lightweight maneuverability of the little four-wheel drive beast here to our advantage. It might be too powerful. Yeah, it's got a whopping 108 horsepower, little turbocharged inline four-cylinder engine, inline three-cylinder engine, I think actually. But it's very lightweight, very maneuverable. We definitely need to push just a little bit harder though, because we are losing on the pack just a little bit. Kind of trail brake just a little bit through. Oh gosh, understeer, so much understeer. Lots of understeer. And we're losing even to another story as well. That's how I know I'm a good driver. Now let's try to gain some time back, at least get into fourth so we get a points paying position. There we go. We're able to maintain a little bit more momentum under the Dunlop Bridge. Can definitely pass the other Astoria into this hairpin. Never mind, they're taking a very defensive line. We'll have to kind of do an undercut, get into the slipstream on the back straight, as well as kind of get into the slipstream of this Mitsubishi Pajero? Is it a hard J or a soft J for the Pajero? All I know is that in the U.S. in Spanish-speaking countries, it was renamed to the Montero because Pajero, I forget how it's pronounced. I think it's Pajero. In Spanish-speaking countries, is actually a slang term for someone who engages in self-love, shall we say. That's sort of a marketing lesson in knowing what foreign words mean when you try to market it to foreign countries or countries that speak a different language than you do. Yeah. Thankfully they caught it really quick and renamed it to the Montero in countries that speak Spanish, and I think Portuguese as well. Because otherwise that would be a very unfortunate naming. But we are up into fourth, mostly. A little bit of understeer through the sweeper. Car does not like high-speed corners. Slower speed corners is not bad at, but the high-speed corners, it's I need to adjust that. I need to lower the front just a little bit more and open up the front differential just a tad, and that should help with higher speed cornering. Alright, we're up in the fourth, which isn't bad, but definitely is not great. But we're at least kind of learning just a little bit more about the car so that we can get a couple sort of a baseline setup properly dialed in just for the start of the next stream. Getting things nice and kind of familiarized with ourselves just a little bit. Yeah, I definitely want to tune the car for a little bit more higher speed oversteer, because the car likes to understeer just a little bit at high speeds. Very tricky getting around the sweeper here. A little bit of an off-course excursion. 2 laps left. Here we go, here we go. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Yeah, that Volvo is actually quite quick. It's one of their earlier performance sedans during the early 2000s that they created. Four-wheel drive, turbocharged, inline 5-cylinder on that. Very, very fast. It's definitely a sleeper car in this game, especially once you have it fully upgraded and everything, and the tuning level is at its max. The cool thing with the turbocharged cars in this game, as we may hear once we sort of start upgrading the destroyer as well, is that the the turbo cars, when the engine begins getting upgraded, the blow-off valve sound gets more and more aggressive, kind of symbolizing, you know, the larger, higher boost turbocharger you're putting on the car, which is a cool little feature to add. And for some of the cars, especially like the cars that are equipped with like the 2J engine, like the Chaser, the Soarer, the Supra, and all that stuff, the blow-off valve, once the engine's fully upgraded, there is truly, oh, it sounds so nice. But since the vehicle is stock right now, you won't really hear the blow-off valve on this one just yet. On this little 3-cylinder Storia. Get it nice, turn in for the final couple corners of the stream. Yeah, that Volvo is kind of demolished the competition on this track. We didn't do too well. This will definitely hurt us just a little bit. But we will still get points. We will still probably be able to upgrade our car just a little bit. So it's not, you know, a complete waste. All right. Yeah, that was pretty rough. That's fine. Let's see what car we get. Okay. Well, that's a great way to end the stream. Hey, we at least got the funny number for the tuning level for our car. We at least got that. Yeah, our ranking number is definitely going to take just a little bit of a tumble as we kind of come to grips with this car and steadily upgrade it. But that's okay. That's just a few settings. Lower the front just a little bit more. Low angle, adjust that. Open up the front and rear diffs just a little bit. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. That's much better. Alright, with that being said though, I'm probably going to be ending the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I definitely appreciate, definitely appreciate kind of talking to actual people instead of just talking to the void. So I do always appreciate, everyone coming in. Thanks again for stopping by, Sprockets. Just a heads up, I will not be streaming this Friday, tomorrow or this Saturday. I'm gonna be out of town those 2 days, so I would not be able to stream. I'm gonna be streaming again on Sunday, and I'll be sure to post the stream schedule for next week, Saturday night, probably around like 8 p.m. Just to kind of let people know these are the games we're gonna be playing. In addition to sort of the current fare and everything, we're gonna be starting playthroughs of Flat Out 2, which is a sort of the sequel to the Demolition Ratio we have already played on this channel. It's a sequel, kind of more sort of, it kind of took some more inspiration from Burnout, some more urban tracks and everything. And we're also gonna be starting a playthrough of Max Payne. So basically, film noir meets the Matrix slow-mo gun battles and stuff. That's gonna be a lot of fun. playing through that. That's gonna be on the Friday slot. So hopefully you guys do stop by for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. That being said though, I'm gonna be ending the stream here. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know what I did well. If you didn't like the video, do be sure to leave a dislike. Let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it in the future. And I do take criticism very, very seriously, and I do want to make sure I improve as a streamer. Regardless, thank you all again for watching. I've been Isaac Umbras. Wherever you are in the world, whatever time of day it may be, may it be a great time, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!